Okay, this is 3 Middle Road. This is the outside. I'm going to take this is 360 view here again, but this is the neighborhood, and down that road in front of me is where the clubhouse is. But here's the neighborhood. It's on this corner here. I'm going to walk around so you can see that, one, the neighborhood, and two, the backyard coming in from the driveway. The driveway is actually, this is the house. This house does need painting. No question about that. On the outside, but I can't see anything else on the outside, but we'll take a look. But the garage is on this side, on this street, where the driveway is. You've got these bushes that are protecting your yard. Doesn't have a fence, but this is essentially a fence. So the driveway's here, and it is a 2-car garage. A very nice garage. So you come back here, and here's the backyard, right here. And here again, you could get more backyard by trimming those bushes back here, and cutting that ivy and extending the grass. But here's what I was talking about, that tree. This is a massive tree, as you can see. But Lena made a point that you could trim these branches up from this tree up quite a ways, and you can see from the edge of the branches to the tree trunk, there's another 20 feet of yard that you don't have now that you would have. So this yard would be much bigger if you trim these trees up and get rid of this ivy or whatever this is down here. Trim this up. The yard would, you'd have a 25% more yard here. And this is the back of the house here. I'm just going to walk around and go back in through the front, but this is the back of the house. I'm looking at the roof now. This roof is in much, much better shape. I don't think it needs to be replaced. Much better shape than the other house we were just looking at. But the outside, it does need painting. Not all of it, though, but some of it. And it's got this porch here that comes off the kitchen. This is the kitchen, door into the kitchen. I'm going to go back around the front. I'm just walking right around the house is what I'm doing on the outside. Okay, now I'm in the front yard. I'm going to go through the front door here. Give you a little close up. You see the paint, how it needs to be painted. You can see here.
Good.
They're not gone yet?
No, they're gone. Go on in.
Okay. All right, coming in the front door.
Dan's doing his own thing.
This is off to the left. I won't describe things as well as John does, but off to the left you have a little sitting room, a little office possibly in here. It's probably 8 feet by 15 feet maybe. Okay, an office, whatever it is. Great foyer, big foyer, stairs upstairs. You come around here in the family room. You see how open this is? Very open. Here, look at the ceiling. Notice that. Notice the walls. Notice the door jambs and the baseboards. All of them look to me like they're freshly painted. Really good shape. The interior of this house is immaculate, frankly. And then you come through here, and this is a big dining room. Now, you may not, some bookcases here, big open, it's open here. This is more of an open house. Big dining room. This is what you don't like, Lucy, I know, but this is, wallpaper and paint is easy. That's simple compared to roofing and an HVAC system. This is nothing. And then this is an addition, according to John, this room here. This is a nice sized room too, as you can see, and it has a view to the backyard through those windows. And these are, they're double pane windows here. Let's see, this is all double pane here. Here again, notice the door, the arches, but the white painted wood, how it's all freshly painted, it looks like to me. Windows, the door jambs, the baseboards. This is the AC unit. It's not central air, but this pumps out a lot of air here. The house is cool. I mean, it's very comfortable. This is into the kitchen here. You walk in the kitchen, that's downstairs, the basement. Here's the kitchen. The cabinets look fine. The stove is a gas stove. I notice all the stoves are gas here. GE. Refrigerator is a GE. Dishwasher is, it looks like this might be a newer dishwasher. Because, yeah, it is newer. I can tell. Look at this. Look how new that is. Right there. This is a newer dishwasher, apparently. Microwave GE. Yeah. Painted cabinets, not new, but painted. Looks like painted oak cabinets. Granite countertop, and this is the entryway. I'm walking into this. You come up, as you will see. This you come up the stairway twice. I'm going to go upstairs now. So downstairs you have you have the dining room, that sunroom or whatever that room is over on the left, the big living room here, office over here. That's on the ground floor. And then upstairs, I'm going up here. Here again, I'm looking at baseboards and door jambs. I'm telling you, that's a big thing of me though. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. These are original doors. Well, that's the stairs to the attic. This is, okay, bedroom here. This is a nice sized bedroom here. Fan, ceiling fan. There's the other bedroom here. Closets. Okay. This bedroom over here. This has an AC unit in it. This must be the master. Got a nice AC unit in it. This one here, another bedroom. No AC in here, but you can see the views. I'm looking at the windows. They're double pane up here too. So these windows, these are vinyl windows, double pane. They've upgraded these windows. These are nice windows. Bathroom. Only bathroom upstairs. As you can see here again, well done. Sink. It's not a double sink, but you can put a double sink in there. There's room for it. Looks like maybe. Let me go up into the attic. I hear John downstairs, but
3 stairs down to the kitchen. But it's a very pretty plain staircase.
maybe I should go down and have him. I'll film while he's talking. Let me do that. John's a better talker than I am about this.
There are bifold doors here that I would take off. They're not original, and I don't think they do anything for the space. I mean, you could keep them on there.
Well, if it was an office and a working space, maybe you want the quiet.
For noise.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything architecturally to enhance the place, and removing 4 screws, they'd be gone, and you're done.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a sunroom, which was sort of a typical. See, the Woodlawn house doesn't even have this room, which is sort of typical. And you know, Bedford didn't have it either, so you can't judge it. But most of these Springland houses were built with a room this big, this size. On the other side of Whitney Avenue, they're smaller and narrower than this. But this is a room this is the only room in the house, I think, that has not original windows, but not thermopane windows. So it's got a wood-looking vinyl floor. It's got baseboard heating, which is a gas heating system, and it has a door to the deck which is also accessed from that sliding door, and that's off the kitchen. So you can get to this lovely north deck, which is spacious, from both this office, kids' playroom, study, whatever you call it, to the deck, and you can get to the deck from the slider. They also didn't really realize we were coming, so things are a bit messy. But you can look beyond that. But again, back to this beautiful, this foyer is really nice.
And it's you said the floor is not wood, it's vinyl?
Yeah, in this room, it looks, you wouldn't know it's not wood, because it's a good quality, but it's vinyl.
It looks like wood. You'll see on my camera. It looks like wood, but it's not. It's like our floor in our house in Arizona.
Okay.
All these houses here have real wood floors. They were put in years ago.
Yeah, these are all original hardwood oak.
Yeah.
So this is the living room, which is pretty in that there's beam ceiling that's painted, so it's not like a heavy, and the ceilings are high. See where your father is?
Yes.
See how much higher the ceiling is in this house? Which, because of the year it was built, it's earlier. It just makes the room feel better.
I would say this ceiling is, I'm 6 foot, John.
Probably 8.5.
Okay.
And 6 inches makes a big difference.
And here again, you got double pane windows, vinyl windows all throughout, it looks like.
These are new windows?
Newer, yeah. I don't know how old they are, but they're not original windows and they're all thermal pane. The house is heated by gas and there are radiators. I'm going to close this door actually. There's also a guest closet in the front.
Radiator you're seeing here inside that unit right there.
Windows that look like they're...
Yeah, I'll pay particular attention and point them out if there are. See, here's a dog walker right out the window. Go ahead.
John and Dad, while you're walking through the home, something that's really important to me is that we have been living in a hot home in the summers, and I don't want to do that anymore.
Okay.
So the cooling is very important to me.
Okay.
I understand the cooling system is quite different here, and I want to know how effective it is for cooling all the different parts of the house.
Well, I'll let your dad answer in a minute after I tell you. So this house has got 2 mini splits in it. One in the dining room and one in the primary bedroom. It is humid and 95 degrees here today, which is much, much warmer than a typical summer day here. A typical summer day here is 80. We're 95. Yesterday was 99. So I'll let your dad speak to the comfort in here.
Okay. I walked through with the camera already into the room where the mini split is. The mini split cools the dining room, the kitchen, and that other big room in the back very well. Here it's cool. It's not as comfortable. It's not as comfortable as it is in those other 3 rooms, but it's not hot in here. I came from the outside just now, but this is very livable. And if it's a day that's too warm, you probably wouldn't spend your day in this room anyway. It's a living room, but you're spending your day in this room here, the kitchen, and that room back there. I've got my camera on. John's got his on too, but I don't. That mini split, I'm amazed how well that does, just downstairs. And you could put a fan downstairs to blow this cool air into the living room if you wanted to, or into the kitchen maybe a little. A fan would do wonders. Just a floor fan.
I don't know if you care for something as formal as this.
No.
Okay, that's the dining room fixture. As your father said, if this became a circular, if they had this fan on here, which they don't, and I'm in the family room now, that would also help circulate things.
Yeah. And I'm standing right now in front of this mini split. This is blowing serious cold air. I mean, really cold air. It's very comfortable. I don't know that, I mean, central heat cooling's nice. I don't know that you give up much if you have a, I mean, even if you want to buy another mini split, it's not, I mean, it would be, I don't think you need it, but.
Oh, I hear a baby.
Camera off, baby's been tended to.
Okay.
How's the kitchen feel right now?
All right, we're gonna go there now.
Okay.
You got a sense of this room, and this is, we'll give us a minute to get to the kitchen. This is again the backyard.
I know I'm wandering around here, but you can fast forward through stuff, but I want to get John's comments here
And
also.
a place there that you could easily fence off between the driveway and the end of the grass.
Yes.
Okay, and then we've talked about trimming the bottom 20 feet of this huge pine tree, which would, even if you didn't, if you left it to Pachysandra that's under there now, visually it would open up the yard considerably,
Yeah.
and that might make the perfect spot for a garden.
Okay.
Actually, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
and that's a more easily enclosable backyard. I remember.
Yes.
Yeah,
very easy.
Yeah, very easy. In fact, I would leave this row of hemlocks that are here and somehow weave fencing in front of it. You know, sort of almost, not chicken wire, but you wouldn't have to spend a lot of money just to make sure that the kids couldn't get out.
Or if you trimmed it back a certain way, it would thicken up and be a fence, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah.
You'll see it on my camera better. But without that, if you consider that the fence, by trimming it and thickening it out, you probably have 30 feet of fence, that's it, right by the driveway. You can see that.
And there's a nice grove of, I don't know what it is, that's separating your driveway from the neighbor's driveway. So you have a privacy wall to the east and the border of your property.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
This is the room they built.
This room is 25 years old, the one we're in now.
Okay. And it has wood floors, not vinyl.
Solid wood floors.
Solid wood floors.
Baseboard, same heating system, but it's baseboard.
Okay.
Okay, versus
Radiator.
radiator.
Okay.
Okay.
And Dan, you were saying that family room feels pretty cool.
Yes. Well, it has a fan on. It's not on now, but this is very comfortable in here.
Yeah.
This is comfortable. The dining room's really comfortable because that's where the cooler is. The kitchen is not as cool.
That's where I thought the kids would have the playroom.
Yeah.
This room is open to the dining room with there are some columns, but it's like a 7-foot wide opening. So these rooms can easily work together and the flow is quite nice.
Yeah. And this doesn't have to be a dining room. We're standing in the dining room. It doesn't have to be a dining room. But it's a big room. You can make this whatever you want. The doorway into the kitchen right here limits the airflow in here, and that's where I say it's not quite as cool in here, but a floor fan, in the dining room blowing towards the kitchen would push cool air in here.
Or even replacing this light fixture with a ceiling fan
Yeah.
would be fine.
Yeah.
So I'm walking from the dining room into the kitchen, and this is where you would put a table, unless you wanted to block the slider, which I wouldn't do. But the access to the lower level is here with one door, which creates a pantry space, and another door. There's no reason if you wanted this basement kids play area to feel more part of the house, simply taking these two doors off and painting it a little bit so that it just looked a little better. It would feel like you could just poke your head down here and see, talk to the kids.
Let me put my. We're gonna go down there, John.
Yeah, we're going to go up first, I think.
Okay.
All right, so this is your
This is what he's
kitchen.
talking about here.
This is the slider that I showed you from, and that's the door from the office, sunroom, whatever. This is the deck, which you can see accommodates a good-sized table, and I'm gonna keep out of the sun here. And then chair. So the deck is probably 14 feet wide by 20 feet long.
Painted just, I mean, the paint's really good. Good quality. I mean, it's fine.
This was just done, actually.
Yeah.
And then there are steps down to the yard, and then this is also your back door. So you fence in that area there that's flanking the driveway. If you put your cars into the garage, you close the garage door, and then you come this way into the backyard. And so you never have to open the fence.
Got it.
You follow me? In other words,
Yeah.
you're not at risk of somebody leaving the fence
I'm going
open.
to go into the garage here now,
because
so you can see how big it
come in
is.
and out of the garage, the fence is always closed.
And it does have a garage door opener.
Yeah, it's got a garage door opener. This is a newer garage door.
Yeah, this garage door is really new, actually.
You could actually use this as a garage.
Yeah, this is a real garage.
Yeah.
And this is sort of typical and funny. When this house was built in the 20s, the cars were small. So, as a result of that, as the 40s and 50s and 60s came about, the new cars couldn't fit in the garage. So people would extend, I don't know if you can get a sense of it, but they would extend the bottom half of the garage so the nose of the car could fit in and the garage door could close. So what makes it nice is that this is now a good spot for garbage cans, lawnmowers, bicycles, and still being able to use it as a two-car garage. This roof on the garage, I don't know how old the shingles are, but
I'm
this
gonna
is
look right here.
plywood under here, which would not have been original, and somebody would have probably replaced the cedar shingle. And
I'm looking here at the shingles, John, out here. They look good. In fact, they look like, just like the house. Those back shingles looks like they did the garage at the same time. It looks good to
the
me.
roof, he just doesn't remember, but these, they're in their 80s, and the roof may be newer than we all think it is.
It looks fine.
Okay, but we know for sure the front part of the roof is.
According to what he told me, it's 5 years old. And this is a real two-car garage.
Yeah, this is legitimate.
And this is
Easy 2 cars. Yeah.
And this is where, again, the fence would be so that the kids couldn't get out.
What I'm saying about this side, you could trim these back. They need to be trimmed anyway from the sidewalk. They would thicken up. I'll get out here. They would thicken up and create a fence. It would happen, thicken on this side, and it would thicken. If you trimmed it up here, it would thicken on this side too, which would create a barrier. You might have to put a fence, you see an opening there.
A little opening there, we talked about that the other day.
But here, this is nothing. This is 30 feet right here.
That's nice.
Okay, so let's go back here. Wait a minute. Is that going
Yeah, this
down?
is a new garage door opener, or
Yeah,
whole
this is
garage
new.
door. The whole door is new, or newer. It doesn't look like
You could
there's
have
not
a
even
car
any
in.
dust on it. I don't know how new it is, but
The fence would be simple here. And again, this is the area, actually it's not Pakistan, it's some other kind of vine. But what is this, 15, 20 feet?
oh, I think it's 20 feet from the edge of there into that trunk.
And there's so this is also a good point. See this split rail fence? I don't know if it's on this property or not, but Mike Pohl is the next door neighbor. Even if you chicken wired it, you know what I mean, without spending like 10 cents,
Yeah,
if the goal is to keep the kids in, this is easy.
yeah. Or put pickets on it,
Yeah, or something.
nail pickets on it or something.
No.
Sorry, that back room that's facing out.
Yeah, that's the family room. That's 25 years old.
That's right.
Now this This is, no, it's wood.
That's clapper too.
Yeah, this is in good shape.
You can see, did we talk about that yesterday, clapper versus cedar shingle?
No, we didn't.
Okay, so this is clapboard, meaning continuous pieces of wood. This next door is cedar shingles. They're both cedar, it's just two different looks.
Yeah.
Looks like he's got some, looks like he has some solar stuff going on here, next door. His wife just passed away 2 weeks ago. Nice family, they've been here as long as we've been here.
Okay, now, just stepping in here from the outside, we're stepping into the kitchen, which I said was not the coolest room as the others. It's pretty cool in here when we come from the outside.
Yeah, definitely.
No question about it. So a fan would do wonders for this kitchen. Absolutely wonders for this kitchen.
And this kitchen is not new, but I don't think you'd have to do anything instantly to it.
No. But how many days a week of the year do you need the fan?
No, we don't get days like this, honestly, often. There's a back door out with a, to the garage area and blah, blah, blah.
This is from the kitchen window here.
And then
Sink.
there is a small half bath here off the kitchen, which is tight, but better to have it than not to have it. So if the kids were outside playing, they run in the back door, the bathroom is here, they run back out.
This is the bathroom.
So the kitchen, tell me about the appliances, because
Okay, so the refrigerator is a double door with an ice, with a water thing and crushed ice. Double door refrigerator freezer, and that's GE, stainless steel. The stove is GE. I don't know if it's a gas or an electric oven, but the cooking is gas, and it's 5 burner, the center burner being this. I don't know why it's that shape, maybe you do. But there's 4 round things and a elongated center thing. And then the dishwasher is...
The dishwasher looks kind of new to me, newish, because that label's not...
Yeah, it's white, and I don't know what the brand name is.
Yeah, it doesn't match.
Yeah, it's white versus the stainless steel appliances. Frankly,
Do we have the age of some of those? Or
no, but I can tell by looking at the stove, and they all look newer. It just, the dishwasher is white versus stainless.
Okay.
The other thing that would improve this kitchen, Dan, do you agree? If you change something as simple as these knobs.
Yeah.
The knobs are sort of like old lady knobs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you put a stainless steel knob on here, it would change the whole feel of the kitchen.
Yeah. These look like original knobs when they were oak. These are painted oak, look like to me.
Exactly. But there's a good center island here. Based on the way it's built out, you can't really sit around it. But there's a good area here between the stairs coming down and the doorway to the basement for a table.
Okay. And the cabinets look, what are I thought?
They're oak. They're painted oak. They're an older cabinet that's painted oak.
Cabinet. Okay. So old.
But you've got, between this center island, which is storage on both sides, and the cabinets, you've got double the cabinets that you